What astrological what astrological aspects have the most problem with sugar? Stay tuned. You're going to want to know the details on this one. I'm Holly from Askhollyhall.com. I am certified in parapsychology, master astrologer. There are different aspects in your chart that you want to take a look for when it comes to an issue, a problem, an addiction to sugar. You want to look at your first house. You want to look at your fifth house. You also want to look at Leo and Aries. If you have, and you do need to know your time of birth in order to discover at least the houses, but you don't need to know your time of birth to see if you've got Aries or Leo in your chart. Let's not just look at sun signs. You're much more than your sun sign. Basically, if you've got Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Venus, you also want to take a look at your first house. How many planets are in the first house? Take a look at your fifth house. How many planets are in your fifth house? Are there squares? Are there conjunctions? Is there any connection between the planets as well? If you're nodding your head and you're saying yes, if you're not sure, head over to my website, askhollyhall.com. There's a section for free charts. Now, that's only Western. If you're looking at Vedic or Sidereal, then for Sidereal, you want to go to astro.com, and there are many sites for Vedic. What is the issue here? For Aries, it has to do with the adrenal glands. Aries have very strong, powerful adrenal glands, and they can manage a lot only because they're very fiery and they demand a lot of extra energy. Basically, they're there for flight or fight when you're in a dangerous situation. Unfortunately, in this day and age, our bodies and our mind thinks we're in danger almost all of the time. And that's just by the foods that we eat, our our stress levels, our work ethics, a lack of community, etc. If you've got a lot of Aries in your chart, then you're going to be demanding extra food energy intake, fuel, in order to fuel those adrenals. If you're an athlete, it's natural for you to consume a high carb meal before you go do your race or your run or the game, etc. Because you are going to need extra fuel for your adrenals to pump out that adrenaline in order to facilitate you when you're putting your body through extra stress, enormous stress. However, if you're a high stress person and you're not taking care of your adrenals, remember, do your own due diligence. I'm not a medical professional in any way, but I do medical astrology. So if you've got a lot of stress that you're and you've got Aries in your chart or a lot of first house stuff, then you're going to crave sugar because sugar or high carb food is instant energy. It feeds, it fuels. Now you would think, so who cares, Holly? That's great. But you will tax your adrenals and I've done this myself, if you use it excessively when it's not a flight or fight situation. You will actually become addicted to your adrenaline, to the adrenaline rush. This is why a lot of people are addicted to sugar for the adrenaline rush, but are also addicted to caffeine and those energy drinks because it also pumps adrenaline through your system. I've said this many times, we can become addicted to the chemistry in our own body: dopamine, cortisol, oxytocin, adrenaline, etc. Therefore, if you find that you have a lot of Aries in your chart or a lot in your or a predominant amount of planets in your first house, then you want to do things to take care of your adrenals, to keep it calm and relaxed and not to overreact when under just normal stressful events throughout your day. Because what happens is if it shoots out adrenaline, your body, your mind will think, warning, warning, you're in danger. And you'll walk around with a lot of tension, anger, frustration, irritability, etc. If this sounds like you, and then you're going to have sugar crashes, and then you're going to have high blood sugar, etc. So what you want to do is take care of your adrenals. And one of them is, for some people, it's excessive exercise in order to get that adrenaline out in a healthy way. You can do a 5-minute HIIT exercise, which is basically 30 minutes running fast on the spot, 30 seconds running fast on the spot, and a 15-second break, or vice versa. 15 seconds running heavy on the spot with a 30-second break. Do that for 3 to 5 minutes. That's going to get rid of a lot of adrenaline. You can do breathing exercises. There is 4 minutes, 4 seconds breathing in, and 8 seconds breathing out through your mouth. Breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your mouth. You can tense up your entire body and then relax. You can stand on the spot and jump up on your heels. So your feet, your toes stay on the ground and your heels go up and down. And then you kind of like shake your body around side to side. That can get rid of tension as well. Don't have high caffeine in your chocolate. In a little bit of chocolate's okay, but high caffeinated foods, high caffeinated drinks, coffee, tea, high caffeinated, those energy drinks, that's not tender and easy on your adrenals at all. It needs glucose, our brain needs sugar. And if you've got a lot of Aries in your chart, and Leo as well, but I'm going to talk about Leo because Leo's the same if you got Leo or a lot of fifth house stuff, but there's an added value here with Leo. Then with Aries, you're going to want to have some sugar in the morning with fiber, sustainable. So eat fruit, eat a bowl of berries, have it in your coconut yogurt or your regular yogurt. And then if you make a shake, just make sure it's in a straw and you're taking your time drinking that shake, even if you can swish it around in your mouth. Juicing, not recommended. There's too much sugar in juicing without the fiber. Quit the caffeine slowly. Don't just quit overnight. Do it very slowly. Add half and half. And then eventually, I use Caflet myself. I can't actually handle I can't handle caffeine at all. Even your Coca-Colas, your pops, even your diet ones are going to have caffeine. Aries as well has to do with headaches in the head, in the brain and the cranial and even sinus area here. So if you find yourself addicted to sugar or have a sugar addiction or high carb and you get a lot of headaches or migraines, you may want to see if they're related and watch your pattern of eating and headaches in it. For Leo. Now, Leo is, or the fifth house, is exactly the same, except there's a lot less anger and frustration and irritability, and there's more of drama and just being really hyperactive. And people will say that, like, you're loud, you're hyper, there's so much activity about you, you're so much drama. And so you're going to find that as well. I've got a lot of Leo in my chart, and you like your sugary stuff. I'm not necessarily a sugary person, but I do like my coconut ice cream. I make my own, so I use pure monk fruit, which you can get on Amazon. I'm not a stevia person, and I don't like ethanol, which is what monk fruit is mixed with a lot. Even though it says monk fruit, you got to look at the ingredients. And also have your shakes in the morning. But for Leos, it's more like a reward system. And that reward system is the sweet tooth. And a lot of that is that there's bitterness or sadness or a lack of family connection. And you feel that when you have those sweets or those rewards, and even high carbs can do the same thing. Mine's popcorn. It used to be chips. I don't have as much chips because it spikes the blood sugar. And I do have to watch my blood sugar. It is a marker for me. So there you go. That is sugar in the astrology chart. And if you're an astrologer, you can now pinpoint this as one of the markers in the chart that they have to be careful of. Namaste.